practice for. All right, is it noon? It is noon. All right. So today's practice, instead of 60 minutes, it's going to be 30 minutes today. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 yoga poses, but I did say 6 earlier just because we're going to do them on both sides with a couple of them. Okay, so yes. So 6 yoga poses, 6 restorative poses for 5 minutes apiece with the rest at the end. Okay, I've turned my mat the long way so that I can have support underneath my back. Excuse me. I also think it may be important to have your blanket. We talked about that in the tutorial. I am in fact going to use my neck pillow. You can have a blanket up underneath your shoulders, or you can have a blanket up underneath your tailbone in order to help you get more support. But I just noticed when I was practicing that my neck felt kind of off kilter. So I'm going to use a neck pillow. I also have a brick here just in case, just to show you, because for one of the poses, when your leg comes down the wall, it may not be able to reach the floor. So the brick is going to be there for support. You can always use a chair also for support. All right, let's do it. So I got my neck pillow, and you can adjust that once you get to the wall. So for wall poses, I want you to start by coming close to the wall. So sit your butt up on the wall. Now I'm going to take my tablet close just in case anybody has any questions and I can see. And I'm also going to have my timer here so that we can know to come out of it. And again, for any of these poses, you are so more than welcome to hold them for longer if you have the time, because as I was saying before, restorative poses, when you go to restorative classes, there are never a lot of poses. There are maybe 3 to 4 poses, and you're going to hold those poses for about 20 minutes. So you're going to get nice and relaxed in those poses, okay? So the poses that we're going to be doing today are one leg up the wall, and then we're going to be doing figure 4s with our legs, and then we're going to be doing a Supta Baddha Konasana, which is a reclined bound ankle, but it's going to be on the wall. And then our last pose is going to be legs up the wall. That's going to be our relaxing pose. Okay, so let's scooch your butt to the wall. All right, and then you are going to, and I might get up for a second just so I can show you different things. Okay, but you stay there. So scoot your butt to the wall, and you're going to lay down. My butt is to the wall, all the way to the wall, and then I'm going to turn so that my legs are up the wall. Now, I want you to keep your head forward. You might see me turn on to the side, and I'm going to look at the screen so I can make sure that I'm showing you everything correctly. And I'm also going to have my tablet here so that I can see if anybody has any questions. All right, so well, I can't have it here because my leg is getting ready to go down the wall. So here, you can pretty much stay here for a second. You can pretty much see what you might need. I am going to need my neck pillow. So I'm going to slide this up underneath my neck. I showed you how to do this in the prop tutorial. So I have support for the back of my head, and I have support for my cervical spine. All right, first pose is going to be, I'm going to move this over here. One leg up the wall. So my right leg is going to slide out. Try to keep your butt up against the wall. That right leg is going to slide out all the way down. Now, let me grab this block. So, for instance, your leg is not coming all the way down. You're like, nope, not going to happen. You can have a brick here for support, okay? And if it's up higher, you can always put a chair there. So I'm going to start my timer. And I just want you to bring your arms down by your sides. And just breathe naturally in and out through your nose. When you take that right leg out to the side, there may be some sensation that you're feeling. And I want you to breathe into that sensation. Try to come to a point where you are letting go. You're softening your face, you're softening your jaw. You're softening your eyes. You're noticing where you're holding on. And that could be holding on in your body, it could be holding on in your mind, it could be judgment of what's tight, it could be judgment that your leg needs support. I want you to just try to let go of that. I just felt myself flexing through my quad. So I just released it. And then start to let your natural breath deepen. Make the inhales a little bit longer. And make the exhales a little bit longer. Just bring quietness and stillness to your surroundings. Just allow yourself to work. Restorative poses, restorative yoga is going to help to calm parasympathetic nervous system and teach us that it's okay to relax. And again, please use all the support that you need. Restorative poses are very grounding and supportive. Very good. Now remember, you can stay in this pose for as long as you need. Maybe use your right hand to gently guide that right leg back up to the wall. Back to legs up the wall. And then we're just going to switch sides. So this left leg, nice and slowly, make sure your butt is still up against the wall. This leg we're going to take down. The left leg this time, we're going to take it down. And I'm going to need my brick on this side just to get started too. Okay, and then we'll start the timer. Again, different side, different things going on. No judgments, only awareness. And release. And support. You need to start over with that breath. That's okay, because again, you're going to feel something different in this side. And once you start to breathe into those sensations, once they start to release a little bit, then try to deepen the breath. Very good. Use your hands and gently guide this leg back up to the wall. Again, you can hold the pose for as long as you want. All right, so our next pose, our next pose is going to be a reclined pigeon. So I want you to be careful too about your neck, your cervical spine. It's in a very sensitive position. So I don't want you to lift up and look behind you. So my camera is behind me currently. So I'm not going to lift up and turn and look behind me. You either turn your head to your left or your right. Okay, just be very careful. And then make sure your head is not dipped too far back or too far forward. Good. All right, we'll call it a reverse pigeon or figure four. Let's start with the right ankle. Cross it over the left thigh. Okay. So flex through the right foot, flex through the toes. You don't have to do anything with that right knee. And then we're going to take our left heel and start to bend the knee and slide the heel down the body. Now, as you start to slide, you may feel some sensation in your right hip, all right? I don't want you to take it too deep, just to the point where you feel sensation, all right? And if you have to back off for a little bit, please feel free to back off. And again, make sure the hips are the butt is to the wall. And just try to relax into this. As we're feeling the hip on that right side maybe. I want you to take a big deep breath in through your nose. And watch that breath travel all the way down through the spine and into that hip. And down maybe into the shin for me. Or excuse me, not the shin, the calf for me. I've had an injury on this side. So any flexion in my hip and my knee is going to cause me a little bit of sensation. Now we don't want to take that to the point of pain. So if you need to straighten that left knee back up a little bit, feel free. Again, this is about restoring, softening, and relaxing and calming. Calming that part of the nervous system that says react. You may feel like you need to react quickly and come out of this pose quickly because it doesn't feel right. But again, it might be a new sensation. So not feeling right, maybe just that, and maybe not feeling right. If it doesn't feel right in the way where you're like, I feel like I'm pulling something or it's too much pain, then again, back off, straighten that leg back up the wall, back off. If even this is too much, you can put the leg back up the wall and come to legs up the wall, okay? You can hold legs up the wall for the whole time if you want, if any of this is too much. So again, just relax and soften. Yep, let's make sure I started the timer. Relax and soften. And breathe. So move slowly and be careful. Try not to be too quick to rush out of the poses. You can use your hands for support to straighten that leg out, and I suggest that you do just because you've been holding this pose and it's very sensitive area here. Go ahead and stretch the legs back up the wall, and then we're just going to do the opposite side. So take the left ankle, cross it over the right thigh. I'm going to start this timer. And then start to slide that right heel down the wall, bending into the knee. And you are adjusting the sensation with that right knee. So you're feeling the outer side of the left hip. So if it's too much, you straighten that leg back up the wall. If you need a little bit more, maybe bend the knee a little bit more. And again, we're not looking for a lot of intensity. This is for a little bit of sensation. And we're allowing ourselves to breathe. Send breaths to the tight areas and release the tension. You're good. First thing is straighten this right knee back up to the wall. Second thing is to use your hands and assist that left leg. All right, our last pose, I'm gonna need to unplug my doorbell here because I don't want it to get in the way. Our last pose is gonna be Supta Baddha Konasana. It is a bound angle and we're in a reclined supported position. So bring the soles of your feet together, or maybe just your heels. Now I want you to bend into both your knees and start to slide the feet down the wall. Now, of course, if this is too much here, I'm going to show you an option. If this is too much here, I'm going to slide my legs back up the wall, and then we can do a wide V. And again, you can bring a chair, or you can stack bricks or books to support the legs. I'm feeling a little bit, I know for me, inner thighs. So I'm not doing anything. I'm not pushing anything away. I'm kind of just smoothing out and allowing some healing to come from my hands. And again, whenever you come into that sensation, breathe deeply. Follow your breath. Watch it travel all the way down the spine, through the front of the body, and out into the inner thighs and the hips. And remember, each time we come into pose, notice where you are holding. Can't say that enough. You're holding in your mind. Oh, this pose is too much, it's too much. Even in the littlest way, we can be holding. You might not be saying those exact words, but notice if somewhere in your mind, the focus is on the sensation. And let's try to shift that focus to relax. Again, your feet don't necessarily have to touch. I don't know if you can see mine, but your feet don't necessarily have to touch together. The heels don't necessarily have to touch together, so I don't want you to force it. But if you want to feel a little more sensation, you can bring the soles of your feet all the way together. But for me, it feels like I'm forcing it. It feels like I'm holding it. So I'm just going to allow my heels to come apart. And just the balls of my feet are touching. And even if those come away and you find your knees coming out a little bit more, it's not a bad thing. Just as long as you're not forcing it. Very good. You can stay here for as long as you need to. Now let's start to take the legs back up the wall, nice and slow, and we'll come into a legs up the wall pose. Now, our hips, our butt has been down a little bit longer. I'm just going to take and show you. You can put your blanket. Oopsie. It has come undone. You can take your blanket in whatever fold or whatever thickness that you need. And you can put it up underneath your tailbone. Ooh, that's nice. It puffs the heart up a little bit. It gives your tailbone something to relax on. If you didn't have it there in the first place, because you might have put it there for being in the class. And this is called legs up the wall. So this is our relaxing pose. And we'll take about 10 breaths here. Now you can stay in this longer, but I promise to get you out of here in a half hour. And we're working on 35 minutes, which is okay. So if you still have time, thank you for staying. But if you do have to go, we'll just take a few moments in legs up the wall. And again, you stay here for as long as you want. It's an awesome pose. It's very relaxing. You can stay in anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. If you're coming out with me, go ahead and bend into your knees. So you're hugging your knees into your chest. You're sliding your feet down the wall. And then I want you to roll off onto your right side. So my feet are still on the wall. I'm using that wall for support. I'm rolling off onto my right side. And then I use my left hand to push up and come to a comfortable seated position. See, I rolled off my mat, that's okay. Use the wall as support too. Sit up against your wall. Rest your shoulder blades. You can bring your palms face up or face down. Just take a few breaths. Move slowly. And let's bring our palms together right at our hearts. Slightly bow the chin. And honoring ourselves, honoring our practice, those who practice with us, and the places that we practice. And I wish you light, love, peace in your journey. Namaste.